Right, hello guys, and I hope that you're all well. So this is GBPUSD. Now, for this, to be honest, as I said, I don't really trade like this. It was just because I was sitting in front of the screen, and I thought I'd chase it. So I've given you the breakdown for this entry here, and all it is the same thing. I replicated what's going on here. So if you look at the sessions, not that it's too important, but when I woke up, I only was active when I saw this big spike down. I didn't really monitor what was happening before then. And remember, this is the only thing that I'm trading is you for a buy. For a buy, you're only looking for that impulse, a successful retracement, and break. Okay, and you set your order on this one. That is all I'm looking for. Same thing for a sell. You get that impulse, successful retracement, and then you're entering off the OB there. Simple as that. That's literally all I've been doing. And it's only because I was sitting at the charts, I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. So this first trade from yesterday, I closed at 20R. The only reason I closed it is because what we can see is I was following what price is doing here, right? And I was about to I saw this massive impulse and I thought, okay, let's see if we get a retracement that breaks this low. Nothing did, and in fact, it just broke past it. Now, it can be considered that this was the first impulse that was retraced and it dropped down, but I thought this was a big impulse and I wanted to focus on that rather than that. But obviously, if I did, I would have taken a loss, which is fair enough. But I waited. But yeah, you did get some sort of a reaction from it. To be fair, did you? No, you didn't. Okay, but the reason I closed is because we had this impulse, we had a retrace, and then it broke this structure. Right now, for me, because I saw that, I decided to close my trade here. As it started, I should have waited until here, to be honest, but I decided to close it, and then I set my limit order for here. So what we can see is the impulse, retrace, break, okay, entry off that OB. Simple as that. And with these trades, you just have to trade with confidence, to be fair. Now, what I saw was obviously we've got this wiki thing up here. The reason I didn't go for that because this is the cleanest OB for me. Price can react there. If it did, sorry, if it did, then I could have just entered another order there. The thing is, when I enter these trades, I know that obviously you know that you could potentially lose. Okay, and once you gain comfortable with that, you'll be confident taking any trade, right? But yeah, so I entered in here. Now I don't normally scale in, and I have done a scale in. That was a scaling, but I'll explain why. So yeah, it broke structure, then I was already break even. I didn't take any partials. All I wanted to wait for was a change in trend. Now, for me, obviously, I know that the higher time frame we're in this 4 hour range, but I didn't even focus on that. To be honest, I didn't focus on that at all. But I know deep down is that obviously we reach the top of this range, but you can't have price going up and up and up. It has to come and do a retrace before it continues, right? But again, I didn't really focus on that. But as long as you're aware of as to what's going on, that's good. But you can simply just trade off what's happening with structure, right? So what we can see is obviously this impulse. You need a successful retrace, which happens. What break structure? The break structure happened from here. Price did react, but I didn't enter off that. It was too scruffy for me. There's nothing really clear to enter off, right? But then obviously we kept on dropping. We didn't get any retraces that was successful enough to, as in we didn't get any proper retraces for it to come back. It just kept dropping and dropping. And then I saw this bullish impulse, right, which broke this structure. Now, obviously what happened was we created this high and then we had a pullback and then we broke that structural high. Okay, so that pullback was the successful retrace and the entry was off a 15-second OB in there. And then I placed a trade and then off he went. Price did come back to this OB, which made sense. But if you think about it from this point of view, we've got this could be seen as an impulse, a retrace, broke structure. We could have even entered off here. Okay, and we could have got a nice move. Okay, that's exactly the same. I don't know what I just did there. But okay, same thing that's happened for this entry is we got this impulse. Now this will look cleaner on the 30-second time frame. And this is all I was doing. I was flicking between the 1 minute and the 30-second to find what's clear for me. So what we can see is from the 1 minute time frame quickly, we can see that this obviously impulsed, right? But this wick was what intrigued me, and I wanted to see if that was a pullback that broke the structure, and then that was a successful retrace that broke structure. Now it wasn't. Ideally, I do like it if it comes back, and it does eventually come back anyway. But I didn't enter. But this is when you get 2 points of interest where you can enter off both. But so I had an order in here and I had an order here. As soon as I saw price trigger here, then break structure, I deleted this one. But price came back anyway and then continued. But that's for that entry. Same thing is for this entry. So this one, what we can see is we got this impulse, right? Then this candle, this is why I want you to focus on structure, is that this candle took the low of this candle. So it created this high, then it pulled back, and then it carried on going, right? Remember, these wicks although it looks like a continuation, this wick is very important because it is a pullback on a lower time frame. Now, if you go 15 seconds, there, you can see it, right? You can see the pullback and then it carries on going. The entry was off this OB here, and then once we broke structure, we will break even. Now, as I mentioned, I don't normally do scalings, but I thought, I was having fun, so I thought I'll try it. Now, obviously, if you are going to do that, make sure you're confident when you're doing it, and be open to taking a loss, because it may happen. For me, I've taken 20R, 13R, 4R. Right, oh crap, the maths. 20, 33, 37, 37R. Taking a few losses. I need to take 37 losses for me to be back at break even. Now that was quick maths, but that was essentially all I was doing. Same with here, we got this impulse, right? Now this doesn't look like it's an obvious retrace. Now this is, actually I just discussed this one, didn't I? Yeah, so if we go 30-second and then the 15-second, it'll make sense. So that's why it's so, the devil is in the detail, because obviously now you can see it clearer, and all you do is literally just flick through the time frames and find what is clear, because you need to have a reason before you take any trade, right? Like I could have even taken this trade because I had a full reason for it, because we had this impulse successful retrace that broke structure. It could have reacted off this one or this one, right? You had two points of interest, and then I could have got a nice, I don't know how much I would have got, but probably, actually I don't know if I would have been break even or what, because I'm not moving my stop losses. I just tend to close it when I see prices changing in structure. Because why I closed this one at 4R is because we had this impulse, then a retrace which broke structure. So that's when I closed my trade. But I saw price reacted here, so I decided to wait a little bit, but I didn't hold it. I could have held it, but I didn't. But yeah, so I ended the day when I hit break even on this pair, on this trade there. But essentially, all you are trading, you are following structure. You are following. That was really bad. You are following. Sorry. Okay, yeah. You are literally following that, and you're entering there. That's all you're doing. It doesn't matter what time frame you are using or what you wish to do. That is all you're doing. You're entering off that, and then you keep going to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. That's all I've done. But yeah, as I said, it is higher risk. I could have lost for every single trade I took, but there was full reason behind every single trade. You know that as soon as you break structure, just go to break even, because then you don't need to worry about it at all. Now, if you're worried about the commissions for the trades, just put your stop loss a little bit away from your entry, just to secure a little bit of profit that covers the commission. It's not really that bad, to be honest. Sometimes the break evens like here, so I put it like a few pips above anyway, but it depends on what your charges are like. My charges, they're okay, but if you compare it to the wins, it's it does balance out. It's fine. But yeah, so that was how GBPUSD was played out today.